Now, though, it's been 8 months since Nottingham University students Barnaby and Grace O'Malley Kumar and school caretaker Ian Coates were killed in a knife attack. Their killer was found guilty of manslaughter in January. But after his sentence was described as unduly lenient, it will now be reviewed by judges. Well, Grace's mum, Sinead, and Barney's mum, Emma, join me now. They're preparing to meet the government later on today. Both of you, thank you for coming in this morning. And Sinead, I can't even begin to imagine what it's been like for you, but there's been so many concerns and questions all the way through this, starting from the initial charge, which was manslaughter, when certainly you believe it should have been murder, to the sentencing, to many other things that have been happening. How are you two coping right now?
Well, all we want is to be reassured that justice has been served.
OK.
We want to... we need... It's becoming clearer and clearer. There are multiple failures in multiple agencies that led to the death of our children, that led to Valdo Calacane roaming the streets of Nottingham on the 13th of June and murdering our children. Now, the sentencing has taken place, the plea was accepted, but ultimately we want to uncover incompetencies that started at the very beginning, from the time of his arrest and the investigation, but also prior to that, why he was never adequately treated by the mental health services, why he was never charged, because he's a dangerous and violent individual. And there's just, it's difficult actually to
I understand.
Summarise it, Lorraine.
I understand
because there's so many different failings, so many different agencies.
So many.
Police, CPS, the mental health services, you know, Nottingham mental health services have gone from actually needing improvement to inadequate since Grace and Barney died. So, yeah, there's just so many unanswered questions. And ultimately, we do not feel there is a robust investigation that convinces us that diminished was the way to go with his plea.
Well, that's the thing. And Emma, for you and for all of us, you can see where he could have been stopped.
Yeah.
There was so many opportunities to stop this person from committing murder, those from killing your children.
Yeah,
as you
it's
said.
a catalogue of missed opportunities and cover-ups. In our opinion, we were told by the CPS on the 7th of December, when we, at our behest, had a face-to-face meeting with him to air our concerns. Sinead, I remember you saying, why does he not have a profile? Why was he not previously arrested? And the line that came back to us was, it was not in the public interest. Well, it clearly was in the public interest, because look what's happened. And to sit in the courtroom and to hear the defence barrister put across his performance of this poor man smitten down with this illness that 1 in 100 of us can get. He had a clean record, he had no prior convictions. It's an insult, because it's just because he wasn't convicted doesn't mean he didn't do it. And you can see the escalation of the violent attacks that happened from 2019 onwards, and it's
and we've just
heartbreaking.
found out that he was also he was stalking.
Yeah.
There's just this was never, you know,
we were never made aware.
We're always
of all
just
the
finding out these more and more, you know, details of you know what's gone on in the past, and none of it was exposed, and none of it was, and he was never charged. And we don't deny that he has mental health problems, absolutely, but he should have been charged. And it isn't public safe. It is in the public interest to charge violent and dangerous people.
It's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying, and it's horrific. It's been horrific for both of you.
It is. It doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't stop. It goes on and on. You're meeting today.
Yes.
What do you want? What do you want to happen?
We're meeting with Laura Farris, who's the Safeguarding and Victims Minister, and she's been appointed to oversee and support the families. The Prime Minister's appointed her because there's so much going on, all of the different investigations. So primarily we want to update her where we are, where we've maybe got concerns that these investigations may end up being silos, and where's the crossover. But we also have asked to meet, because of our concerns about Nottinghamshire Police latest failings of holding a closed media briefing with regards to the police misconduct,
this was the police were sharing information about what happened to your children. They were sharing that when they had absolutely no...
And it wasn't just one officer who's been, you know, very publicly named and shamed. And yes, of course, he did wrong. But the WhatsApp message that he shared, he didn't write it. the officer that wrote this message, and I've read the message, and it's disgusting.
Oh, jeez.
It's heartbreaking and unforgivable. However, this individual received a management intervention, apparently. We only found out a week or so ago that body cam footage had been viewed inappropriately. We only found out that there's an ongoing investigation with a front desk member of staff, and we only found out last night when we were looking again at correspondence that 3 partner agency staff had received management interventions. And partner agency means that's not the police.
But
So
you're,
what
but you're
now?
finding this out because you
Yes.
two are a formidable couple of women. You're clearly incredibly intelligent. You're absolutely passionate about this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Any mother would be. And you're trying to get to the bottom of it. But it's like, well, the police have said that they can't, Nottinghamshire police have said they can't comment on this because it might impact on a further investigation. Have they offered to meet with you? Have they offered to talk to you?
Well, we saw the statement this morning that said that we have offered to meet with the families. I actually have correspondence with Kate Maynell where she's the Chief Constable, where I've said, thank you for offering, horses bolted somewhat, because you offered to meet with us after all of this sentencing horror happened. However, I don't think it's appropriate, Kate, to meet at the moment because of the IOPC investigation and the College of Policing. And she has written back and said, yes, I agree. So they're not trying to meet us and we're refusing. It's actually inappropriate at the moment.
Right.
Although I would say the IOPC, and we are meeting with them in a couple of weeks' time, they have all of this information because it's in the public domain. So I don't agree that why they held the closed media briefing. I think that's abhorrently wrong. But I don't agree that they can't comment. I think it's because they won't comment.
Right.
But that's my
And the CPS and
opinion.
the NHS have said the same thing. You know, they're all sort of not commenting.
Yeah, funny that.
Until this investigation reaches its conclusion. But the thing about the investigation is because you two have worked so hard and you won't let it go. That's the thing, isn't it? You
and
won't.
Our husbands,
of course, I know
and James.
You have a
And the
group.
Coates
You have a
family
very
as well.
close group, don't you? That's all working hard to try and get to the.
We've
truth.
got a WhatsApp group. I mean, how crazy is that? We've got a WhatsApp group with the Coates and ourselves, and you know we communicate constantly, and we sense check ourselves. We're doing this because we need to right this wrong, and we don't just want lessons learned. There has to be individual and organisational accountability, and things have to change. And you know, who wouldn't do this for their child or for their dad or for their granddad? Or, of course, we're doing it.
It's coming from love, and it's coming from justice. You want justice.
Those beautiful people, you know, that you showed on the screen earlier, they're gone. They're not coming back, and they don't have a voice anymore.
No, so
we
you're their
have
voice.
to do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does it help in some way that the two of you have become so close and that you know what each other's going through? Does that help a little bit?
Totally. I mean, there's no one. I mean, look, there's people out there who've lost loved ones, but our children were together. They were friends. They were brutally and horrifically killed, and you know, we are the only people who know how we feel.
Yeah.
We've complete and utter empathy, as do the rest of our families. You know, we get it.
Yeah.
But
I'm just so sorry.
We're also having to deal with the incompetencies.
Yeah.
And we want the world to know this man's name. We do not believe he is to be trusted or would be safe out in society. We want him.
He doesn't deserve to be
in
out in
hospital
society.
or in prison. As far as we're concerned, he should have had a whole life order. We do not feel there's been a robust investigation to 100%, allow the plea of manslaughter.
I think he got away with murder, in our opinion.
Well, no one's shown. We don't categorically know that he didn't take drugs. We don't categorically. There was no toxicology done.
There is so much still to be.
The mental health assessment on the day. There's just too much that we're not happy with.
We wish you all the best today.
Thank
I know
you.
it's the start. It's the start of an ongoing campaign. Please keep in touch with
we
us.
will.
Public inquiry.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support, because without the media, we genuinely wouldn't
No, I
be
think
listened
everyone
to.
supports what you're doing. Thank you both very
Thanks,
much
Lorraine.
indeed.
Thank you.
And for help and advice on anything we have discussed, there are helplines on the website, of course.